for agreeing to talk to us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you on the Voice of America.
Thank you.
In your recent visit to Tashkent, you said that you were personally committed to the success of American-Uzbek dialogue. What are you going to do? And what kind of promises is this administration making when it comes to improving the relationship with Uzbekistan?
Well, the Obama administration has made a commitment to establish annual bilateral consultations with our friends in Uzbekistan and with other countries in Central Asia. And the purpose of those consultations is really to try to, first of all, to elevate our dialogue and to make it more regular, and to try to achieve sort of systematic progress across the board on the full range of our issues.
Well, some critics here in Washington and some back in the region say that despite the official claims that the United States has a multi-dimensional strategy to Central Asia, the relationships appear to be more like bilateral. What is your assessment? How would you define the current level of engagement with the Uzbek government, for example, or with the country as a whole?
Well, as I said earlier, we hope to try to elevate the level of engagement. You saw that with the visit earlier this year of Undersecretary Burns, my recent visit to Uzbekistan. And we want to have regular consultations with them on the full range of our issues. And I think that the Uzbek government also wants to see that same progress. So we're encouraged. Certainly we've seen a lot of cooperation from our friends in Uzbekistan on the question of Afghanistan. And during my visit, I expressed appreciation to President Karimov for the support that the government of Uzbekistan is helping to provide in terms of, for example, the transit of non-lethal goods through Uzbekistan to Afghanistan. They're also helping with electricity to Afghanistan and with many other kinds of assistance. So we welcome that. But we also want to see progress on trade and investment, on a lot of the important human dimension issues that we have on our agenda, and on other issues like energy as well. So we think that there's a good opportunity, and I think the Uzbeks share our optimism for progress.
Well, there seems to be a lot of expectations from the United States and the region, both in Uzbekistan and the rest of Central Asia. What is America offering in exchange for this support to Uzbekistan, for example?
Well, I mean,
specifically.
I think we have a lot to offer. I mean, we would like to, as I said, to try to increase trade and investment. We'd like to do more in terms of exchanges with these countries. We'd like to provide more in terms of educational opportunities for students from Uzbekistan and from other parts of Central Asia. And then, of course, we have a lot of cooperation that we're already doing in places like Afghanistan. So we think that there's a lot that we can do, and this will be based on mutual interests and mutual respect, and will be very transparent to countries like China and to Russia, so that they have nothing to fear as well from this.
Who will facilitate these new initiatives, like you were talking about educational programs or exchange programs? Because as we know, a lot of US-based organizations were forced to get out of Uzbekistan for the past few years. Yeah. You don't have IREX, you don't have Excels, you don't have Open Society Institute there anymore. Yeah. In your view, is the Uzbek government willing to have them back, or to create conditions for those kind of organizations to work in the country again?
Well, that's a very good question, and those are the kind of things that we'll be exploring in these annual meetings that we have. So we hope to have a meeting either later this year or early next year that would be either in Washington or in Uzbekistan. We're waiting to hear back from our friends in the government about that. And then we would either have a high-level delegation go out to Tashkent, or a high-level delegation come to the United States. And we would work through all of these various questions and explore ways that we can make tangible progress on all of these areas.
Both on governmental and non-governmental.
Exactly. Because the non-governmental side of it is very important as well. I mean, that's something...
Which is also a very sensitive side.
Of course. But again, we're going to do this on the basis of mutual respect. And we're not going to obviously do anything that the government of Uzbekistan doesn't want itself to do. And even on these very sensitive human dimension issues, I mean, these are things that are in the government's own interest to do. And so we hope to, again, to work with them to explore what might be possible.